Oh boy, was I about to miss the ball on this one. I was talking about politics and I didn't know what happens in the world of video games. Well, turns out that if you play Overwatch, you need to have faith. Like, you need to take things on faith. If you actually question everything or you investigate something, then you're the problem. And the video game journalists are going to scorn you for it. I mean, if you look at the top 500 players, best in the world, they're all men. And I don't know why there's no women, but apparently the journalists can't just say, well, we don't know either. No, they know why there's no women. There are no women because people are being so toxic in that community and they're being such misogynists that women just can't get good. I mean, there's a lot of women that play the game. In fact, I would say that this particular game has more women playing than most other first person shooters. But the toxicity just keeps women from getting good. That's the logic. Don't ask me to explain it. It's just the way it is. So apparently, a couple of weeks ago, there was this new girl that suddenly came up out of nowhere with the name of Ellie, and she managed to get on the number 4 as the best people that are playing the ladder. And obviously, this is a historic event, and being a historic event, everyone takes notice. Like, everyone looks at her because she's staying out like a sore thumb. It would be like a Republican Trump supporter being hired by Polygon. Like, everyone would take interest in it. Everyone would look into who that person is and how did they manage to achieve the impossible. And obviously, a fan base starts to materialize around this lady because, first of all, she's number 4 on the ladder. Like, that is quite an accomplishment. But second of all, like, maybe she's the one. You know, like, a lot of people are a part of this new gender called twin-spirited. You know, and maybe she is that other spirit that makes the whole, that completes it. Maybe she is the one, a lot of people used to think. And of course they got interested. But as they start fanning, I guess, over her, questions begin to pop up. Questions that have no answer. So first of all, why isn't she Twitch streaming? Why isn't she showing her face? Like, almost every person that's in the 500 ladder, with no exception, is streaming on Twitch. Why? Because it's profitable. Like, you make a lot of money by doing this. Like, it's wasted income if you're not. When you are playing at that high level, when you are like the number 4 on the ladder, literally everyone is going to want to watch you play and everyone is going to watch you stream. And you know, you're making money out of it, and especially since she's a girl, like, this is a historical event, right? She's a woman. Why isn't she showing her face? So that's question number 1. Now, question number 2 is, where did she come out of? Like, how did she manage to pop up all of a sudden? Like, no one recognized her from any other first-person shooter. It's not like she is a professional Team Fortress player and all of a sudden she decided to switch to Overwatch. No, she just ascended that ladder like the ladder wasn't there. Like, all of a sudden, you know, boom, she appears. And that's very peculiar. It's very weird. And people wanted to have an explanation for it. It's like, okay, I get that you're the best at this game, but this game doesn't even have a single player. It's not like you practiced on LAN with your friends and all of a sudden decided to go online and you're the best. No, it's like, how did you get so good at it, right? A lot of people were genuinely curious. And then, of course, you might also have the trolls, and you might actually have people who are looking at history and they're saying, well, since there has never been a professional female player at this level up till now, I find it suspicious that all of a sudden it appears, right? So you have like these group of naysayers, these people that are doubting the faith that a woman can overnight become the number 4 player in the game. And of course, this cannot stand. Like, you need to take it on faith. You need to believe everything that is in front of you, and questioning is misogyny. You need to listen and believe. God, I miss that phrase. And because of that, journalists are now starting to push article after article after article saying that, oh, look, the misogyny, this is why women can't play. And I'm thinking about it, and it's like, holy shit, I finally realized why I'm not a professional Dota player. Like, it all makes sense now. Every time I go into a Dota game, I suck at it, you know? And my team starts flaming me, and they tell me what a bad person I am and that I should kill myself. And then I cry. I pull down the drapes in my bedroom, and I put my head in my pillow, and I cry from the abuse. And I realize that if it wasn't for the abuse, I would be now, you know, Grand Stadium playing Dota with the rest of professionals, and I would make millions of dollars. Thank journalists for enlightening me why I can't be a pro Dota player. This is why I can't also be a game journalist. Every time I make a video, I get harassment from the fans of video games journalists coming in my comment section telling me what a horrible person I am, and this discourages me from breaking in. You know, maybe this is why there are no Republican supporters working at Polygon, because they get harassment. They get harassment from the fan base. It makes sense now. Holy shit, right? This is the actual narrative that I'm going to push from now on. But back to the story, right? So apparently, at one point, the girl said she had enough, right? Like she had enough from the naysayers and the misogynists. And you have to understand something. Like, if I play Dota and someone tells that I need to kill myself, like that's just banter. But if I'm a woman and I play Dota and someone tells me to kill myself, that is misogyny and harassment, and something needs to be done about it, goddammit. So you need to understand how things work in the gaming community before we move any further. But anyway, so this lady, Ellie, says that, look, she's going to stop playing, she's going to quit. Apparently, some professional teams were looking at her and something. I don't know, doesn't matter. But anyway, right. So, more articles start popping up, like more and more and more. It's like, oh, look at the misogyny. Oh my God, right? What have you done, community? What have you done? She could have been the one. She could have been the one to bring balance to the gender, but alas, the naysayers, those misogynists, right? So let's listen to one of these hardcore misogynists speak. Now, trigger warning, everyone. This is like some very sensitive content. I'm going to show you a horrible misogynist. So you need to get your kids out of the room, because you're going to be astonished by the level of hatred that one of these misogynists from the community are going to espouse.
Ellie is not Ellie. The whole situation was meant to be, in a way, like a social experiment. Ellie is actually Punisher, and he told me yesterday. So, there you go. Hello, Reddit. Yeah, Ellie is Punisher. He did this for like a social experiment thing and did not expect it to get out of hand, so that's kind of the juice around that. That's all the juice. Literally, the whole situation made like everyone who talked garbage or everyone who talked any sort of like negativity around it, made them look trash. Like, even if it was real, dude, even if Ellie was a real person, like, the community around the contenders and the people who talk about like female gamers and saying like, oh, it's not real, camera proof, like, it's garbage.
How did people know? How did they know she's not a real woman? How did they foresee the future? With what ability? With what powers? I think the stereotyping is a superpower. It allows you to peer through the veil of time and look into the future. The journalists at Polygon should hire these people, because clearly they have the ability to predict in the future, and people will read those articles. I would start reading Polygon if they start making premonitions and prophecies. Like, I would definitely start reading that website. So, but like, no. This is what's really funny, right? It's not only that they were right, but instead of saying, okay, you know what, you were right, it wasn't, no. They're still in the right. They're still in the right. Because why did you doubt? Why did you not have faith? You should have believed and doubted all logic and automatically believed that she's a woman. Even if she's like the number 4 best player in the world and she pops out of nowhere, even if she doesn't want to show face on her Twitch streams, even if like she doesn't do any of that and none of this makes sense, you should still believe it, goddammit, because otherwise you're a misogynist. And anyone who didn't believe it, they look like trash. In what world does this make sense? Seriously. And not to mention, it's like you can't even have an opinion. Like, if you have the wrong opinion, you're a bad person. Like, I can't doubt events now. Like, I have to take everything on faith in order not to be a misogynist. Apparently, that's what it takes, right? Apparently, I need to throw away my future prediction device in order to be like the normal, decent folk. So if you come to the conclusion that Ninja is a misogynist because he doesn't want to play with other women besides his wife, And you get like journalists coming on and saying, no, see, he's actually a misogynist. Like, he has other reason for not wanting to play with women. What he said is bullshit. If you doubt and you don't have faith that Ninja literally doesn't want to play with other women because he wants to be faithful to his wife, then that's okay. But if you just happen to see a person that no one ever heard about go number 4 on the ladder overnight, and you don't believe that that person is legit, then you're the problem. Right, okay, so I need a list from the journalist to tell me what's acceptable to think and what isn't. Because it's not even, like, the problem isn't even if you gave harassment to this girl. No, like, if you were on Reddit and you doubted it, or you were on Twitter and you doubted it, you're still the problem. And now, like, people are livid that people are going after video game journalists. Like, this is the new controversy right now. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you go and try to hold these decent video game journalists to account? It's not like they should have done the ethical thing and actually do some investigation. Like, they could have actually contacted this person and say, hey, look, we work at this publication. Could you please show us a picture of yourself or show us a video so we can end it? We're not going to show it to the public, but we just want to say that, yeah, okay, yeah, she's a girl. We saw it. It's legit. No, they didn't even do that. They already assumed that she is definitely not lying because human beings don't lie, I guess. And then they wrote the story and they insulted the fan base and they insulted everyone that has the audacity to not be a believer. And when it turns out that the people who are believers were right, the atheists were right all along, other articles still doubling down, still blaming the atheists. And there's this article on Forbes, by the way, and the people on Forbes are very concerned about the future of humanity. Because it's like, look, if this case with this woman was treated like that, how will other women become good Overwatch players? It's like, I don't know, man. Look, this is why I can't sleep at night. I genuinely can't sleep because I'm wondering how will women become good Overwatch players. This is actually a concern. I think we need to escalate it to the government so that the government can figure out how to fix this very problematic issue. There's a video game out there and women aren't in the top 500 and it needs to be fixing. It is just, I will put it next to the other problem. Why aren't there a lot of white people that are in the top in the Mortal Kombat ladder? Like in the fighting games community, you look at the top 10 players of Mortal Kombat, you're not going to find many white people. That's a problem for me. I have to put that right next to the why aren't there women Overwatch players. Jeez, I don't know. And I'll put it next to why aren't there enough white NBA players. Another one of these questions that requires answering. It's like, dude, I don't care. I genuinely don't. And if you're going to say that there aren't enough women who are good Overwatch players because of harassment, prove it. Prove it. You need to give me a study which shows this. Like, try to bring an actual factual study that shows that women love Overwatch. They love dedicating their entire life to it because that's what it takes to become a professional player. But it's because of the harassment and it's because of the toxic community that they just don't want to improve. Because there's a lot of women playing. That's the thing. There's a lot of women playing, but for some reason they're not at the top. And if you're going to say it's harassment, it's on you to prove it. Personally, if I like something, I don't care what other people have to say about me. Like, for example, I chose microbiology as a field. That in my town, at least, it's a woman-dominated field. Like, when I went to work at a microbiologist, like, the other women were looking at me like I'm some sort of alien. Like, what the fuck am I doing in the lab? Why am I there? And of course, they treat you differently because you're standing out. Like, it's an environment filled with women. You're the only guy. Yeah, they're going to treat you differently and they're going to notice you more because you stand out more. But that doesn't mean that it would stop me from pursuing my dream because, I got a lot of female colleagues and I don't know how to deal with it. And not to mention, I don't even care about this. I genuinely don't care. And I'm telling you, a lot of gamers don't care either. Do you know what gamers care about? The fact that the developer of this video game says that he is tracking you on other social media accounts, and if you say something naughty on anywhere else on the internet, they can ban you. Of course, I don't think this applies to regular people, but I guess it applies to those in the top 20 or top 100 on the ladder. I'm pretty sure Blizzard tracks them. And is this something like people are even okay with? But, this is a conversation that can happen. And I'm not going to expect the video game journalist to cover it, of course, and have some opinion that the gamers have about it. Heaven forbid. They probably think it's a good thing that a multi-million-dollar company is stalking you all over the internet. Or maybe the other controversy regarding the fact that Blizzard wants you to connect your Battle.net account if you want to have conversations on esports. It's like, well, what if I have the wrong conversation? Will they shut down my account? Like, that's a question that's worth asking. But you're not going to see the media covering it. No, instead they're covering about, like the social experiment that was done with the girl that's number... I don't care. I genuinely do not care. All I know is that I'm not harassing people. I don't intend to harass people. I'm doing my part, and that's it. There's no collective. There's no community. No, it's just me playing Overwatch from my bedroom. That's it. I don't care about anything else. Jesus. By the way, I stole the gameplay footage from It's a Gundam. A good channel. Check it out. Link in the description.